Hello, I'm Heidi Gibbens, and this is my final reflection for my psychology course. In this video, I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite things I've learned, how psychology connects to my future career, one thing I'd change about this course, and one thing I really enjoyed. My first favorite topic I want to share with you is from chapter 13.2 over the physical effects of stress. It explains how stress just takes on a much bigger toll than it actually seems. Basically, telomeres are the little protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes. I like to think of them as the erasers on the ends of your pencils, and stress wears them down. So when you're stressed all of the time, your cells are going to age faster. Everyone says that stress will age you or gray your hair, but learning this and how it actually does was pretty cool. I mentioned it in my discussion over this chapter, but reading this reminded me of a TikTok I saw of a pair of twins by each other. They looked alike, just not the same age. Then they brought a baby into the frame and it clicked. Of course, you're going to age from having a baby. I bet that is a tremendous amount of stress that I would not like to experience at this point. Also about stress from chapter 13.4, I thought reading about how people dealt with stress was also pretty interesting. Everyone can relate to being stressed, of course, but not everyone relieves it in the exact same way. The two main ways of coping with stress is problem-focused coping and emotional-focused coping. This chapter talks about how there isn't a right way to cope. You can cope negatively with bad habits or with good habits. It doesn't matter what you do because every person is looking for the same thing, and it's to get through the problem and in the end be happy and resolve it. I've just honestly been going through a stressful time right now, my family and stuff, and this chapter just found me when I really needed it. So I thought I really needed it then. I also really liked chapter 10.2 because it talks about gender role stereotypes, like how women are expected to be more emotional or nurturing, and men are said to be more dominant or independent or assertive, when research literally shows that these differences aren't true and we're much more similar than people assume. And most of those differences come from our culture and not even biology. Knowing this helps explains why sometimes gender roles can feel limiting or even sometimes outdated. And even though I know all of this, honestly, sometimes I still don't feel girly enough or womanly enough, which just shows how strong those stereotypes can be even when we understand them or were raised without them. After reading Chapter 7.3, I believe language is one of our biggest tools. It lets us express ideas, communicate with others, and even can help shape and change the way that we think. I've realized how much we rely on words every single day to understand the world and solve problems. It's a way to consume culture, beauty, music, and just everything you haven't experienced. Language is it's not just about talking, it's about connecting and learning and making sense of everything around you. It makes me feel so much more appreciative and powerful for our ability to communicate. And really, after reading this chapter, it makes me understand that language is power. Also, reading chapter 14.4 on eating disorders was really interesting and relatable for me. I've learned since I've struggled with disordered eating myself, it helped me understand that it's not just about willpower, it's much more complex. It's really crazy because in situations like these, your body will be screaming and hurting you in order to help yourself and to be healthy. And your mind is just going against it and telling you that you're fine. And it's just a battle of your own body. I really enjoyed this topic because it helped me get an insight and makes me feel more informed on my own experiences. But when I grow up, I want to be a dental hygienist and live a very happy and hopefully successful career doing something I love. Psychology helps make me develop professional empathy, which is important when working with patients who might feel anxious or nervous. And it helps improve my communication skills, which of course is going to be needed, so I can explain procedures clearly and make sure patients feel comfortable. If I could change one thing about this course, it would be the video discussion due date. I would make the whole assignment due on the same day. But that's just because I'm picky, and that's honestly it. That's the only thing I would have to complain about. One thing I loved was the style of writing in the textbook. Maybe this subject is just more fun for me, but reading this textbook was my favorite. I just absolutely loved the writing in the book. It's perfect. It felt like I was in a classroom. And I also loved how many resources were given. Thank you.